Hooray! Hi everyone, this is Lillian Mutambo. Thank you so much for tuning into this live stream, Lillian Mutambo's TV. Thank you so much for joining me right now. And I just want to talk about this topic, which I thought let's just discuss in brief because it's quite a touching story, and then we can just conclude the matter here and there. So I came across this story of the lady that you can see in my thumbnail. Amai Busa steals 1.7 million kwacha from village banking groups. A pastor's wife at Potter's House Christian Faith Church in Avondale has been arrested for allegedly stealing 1.7 million kwacha belonging to various village banking groups. And some church and family members have accused Regina Nonde, her name is Regina Nonde and she's 31, of borrowing money from the village banking groups in Lusaka and failing to account for it. So police spokesperson Esther Katongo has said that Miss Nonde is believed to belong to other village banking groups where it is alleged she swindled people out of about 1.2 million kwacha, and this is from the Daily Mail. Now, most of you know that on this YouTube platform I talk about church, and I say a lot of things about pastors and how we put so much faith in our pastors and pastors' wives, and we feel they are holier than thou. Whatever they say is what we should follow. But in this case, what I will say is I blame the congregation very much who put so much faith in this woman. I mean, the pastor's wife does not mean she should be the treasurer or she should have access to people's funds. And village banking is a sort of cooperative where people can save money together, and when they save money together, the money accumulates, it's supposed to generate interest. There's a way in which mobile money allows people to save that money. I don't even know how she was able to have access to 1.2 million kwacha, which is about $75,000 and about 60,000 pounds and above. Who gave her the access? I mean, were people keeping cash in hand? Those are the questions. And I want to read something from one of my friends who posted something, and I thought, in this case, it is imperative that we consider these things. My friend was just talking about how we should by all means protect our preachers and not put them in a mess like this. So I want to read what he had posted. Others might mock the whole situation, but for me, I just saw it as a trap. Money is the root of all evil. Do not, regardless of whether you are a believer or not, don't associate, friendship with money. Try by all means to just have friendship or even just relationship between you as a religious person and your congregation. So my friend said pastoral advice. He's also a pastor, by the way, and he says, advice to ministry people. In my ethics class, I learned that a pastor doing business with your members is not advised, because when things don't work out for the better, as a pastor, your ministry will lose out big. Your reputation as a person and that ministry will be affected in a big way. It's just the same as some pastors that do business of land, and they tell people you can buy land from me, and then the business doesn't go well, and then who gets the blame? Of course, it's the pastor who gets the blame. The issues of the pastor being somebody who swindled someone comes in the picture. So this is what we are trying to avoid. Why in the first place was this woman trusted? Of course, she has a good reputation. She has a good character. That's why people have trusted her. And at least it's not a case of telling people, bring offering and I'll bless you. It's a case of borrowing money from a cooperative, and it didn't go well. And especially now with COVID-19, where there's struggles and people are struggling a lot. For me, I understand her, because churches have really, really struggled a lot. And I've heard of this church they don't really have issues. I think it was just a case whereby they thought, okay, if they borrow money, church members might understand, or this money, we might replace it. It's also a case of abusing power, but the people that they abuse power, with are people who do not take things lightly. And the best thing that the church could have done as well, if they really, really loved her, was to protect her, so that the pastor can borrow money elsewhere. But sadly, they've taken these things, and it has gone as far as the whole world knowing that she's taken this village banking money. This is not the first village banking scandal that I've heard of in Zambia. I've heard it before from a non-pastor who took the money as well and ran away and has been arrested. Okay, so the story in the Daily Mail newspaper is very depressing. That's what my friend was posting. He's a pastor, about the first lady of the said church, and this will affect her husband's ministry. Dear church members, please protect your pastors from the traps of the devil, especially when it comes to the money issues. Support them financially the best way you can, so that they can focus on the ministry of prayer and the word. I remember when I was going to Redeem Church in the UK, that me and my friends from the same church, we were putting money together, and the pastor's wife was never involved. And I think it was my 11th round or so when I collected money, but would always give, is it 50 pounds every week? And when it was my turn, I had quite a bit of money, I think nearly £1,000 or so. So I was surprised to even hear that people can even actually trust the pastor's wife and say, yes, go ahead, be part of this village banking. I think it's absolutely wrong to really trust her that way. I think we set her up for a trap, and the church members really did set her up for a trap. They really set her up for a trap. So my friend on his Facebook page also stated that, we should support pastors financially as we can as possible. But please, pastors, no matter the temptations, do not go into any business arrangement with your neighbor, with your members. It doesn't end well. And then he also left a scripture, but we will give ourselves continually to prayer, to the ministry of Acts 6, verse 4, King James Version. Let me just check the comments on the one from Weban to News Media, just to see what people, their thoughts. It's just a brief conversation. Like now, I just wanted us to just talk about it in brief and just let you know that, look, this is what's going on. And the ministry has been affected, and it teaches us all of us a lesson not to depend so much on the ministry too much. If you want to do business, do it outside ministry. Do not involve your pastors. And I know many people, more than 3,000 comments, and she's such a beautiful woman, and I don't think most people have really mocked her. I think majority have literally just sympathized with her. Austin Dinguswayo says she cannot err. Great men and women of God in the Bible who spoke directly to God made errors. We are all not perfect. Let's help the woman in both prayers that she made this mistake. I think for me, I just feel she just borrowed the money and she thought she would retain it, and things didn't go well for them. But the money is a lot. The money is quite a huge sum of money, which it puts the ministry at risk and just everybody. So, okay, which other comments? Mary Malila says, this is broad daylight robbery. My village banking, I am very shameful. Faith N. Siame says, ni mayezi yamu bola, because she looks older than she is. Okay, somebody saying that she looks older than 31. I think she's just mature. Okay, I think there's a comment that has been like 355 likes time. Let me see. Okay, Sakala Nicholas says, papalis is I disgrace to the grace of the Lord, including the followers. And that's the message that I've been saying on this platform, to say the problem is we put so much trust in these so-called pastors. And because of that, we even trust them with our lives, with our monies. And then we say, let's do business together. But you don't know someone's financial stability. Is this person stable? Is this person able to look after the money well. I don't care if somebody's a pastor's wife or is a pastor. When it comes to money and it's a business, do not get involved with church people, especially because then they'll let you down when it comes to business as well. In the name of the Lord and prayer and all sorts of things, and at the end of the day, you get disappointed. So Sambwa Musonsa says, I think we need to increase checks and balances on these saving groups. While the concept is good, some members, especially women, have been enslaved to the groups and are unable to pay back loans. That's true, I agree. Catherine Kangai says village banking is a very good thing. It is changing people's life, but sadly crooks have seen an opportunity to steal from others. I mean, I don't understand people who decide to steal everything. Like you can collect maybe 10,000 and say, oh, can I borrow? I'll give it back. But for you to collect all that money, I mean, owe to yourself, was that money used to run church? What was the money used for? Somebody says these are the most crooked people in the name of, hiding in God's work. Most of them have duped poor families a lot of money, hence making themselves rich, which is a sad situation. Hi, Frida, good to see you. I just want to talk about this really briefly. And a lot of people have said that. So my conclusion on this matter is we will wait to hear what the courts say and what they decide. But it's a very embarrassing situation for the church. The pastor has lost his credibility. His wife as well has lost credibility. I don't think members of the church will even be going to the church peacefully. For me, my gut feeling is that because of COVID, the church struggled a lot financially. But if they wanted to borrow money from the village banking, they could have used other means of borrowing. They could have even spoken to the members of the church. But 1.2 million, were they trying to finance their lifestyles? And this is what I talk about, where pastors have a certain lifestyle. They want to live in leisure. They want to live in luxury. And then when it comes to a life where they cannot sustain it anymore, they tend to borrow and ask for money from other people. So thank you so much. This is all I wanted to say briefly about this conversation, and I will see you on my video and on my next live stream. Thank you so much. Take care.